Hey everybody, welcome to JTV Extra. I'm Sandra Younger, inventor of a cord knotting and design tool called the Knotty-Do-It-All. And let me tell you, it is the most fun that you will ever have. If you are new to making jewelry, then this is the tool of all tools because there are so many different things you can make. And today we are going to be making this sage and suede. And the reason I call it sage is because they're called sage agate. Let me check my my cheat sheet. I think that was called, yes, sage agate. That's how I called it. It's not like the herb, like sage. Anyway, if you're new here, you can ask comments, leave questions down below, and I promise I will try to get to them because I know that someone asked a question about a pendant that I used last week. They said, "Where'd you get it?" They asked it 3 times. I bought it in Tucson, Arizona at the Gem and Mineral Show at some random like booth. So it was like, I don't know, it was like just a round like pendant that I was using. Also, you can shop the show. So if anything that you add to your cart, make sure and check out, and also check your Brilliant Cash, because if it's your birth month, you have until the end of this month to use it. Otherwise it expires. Anyway, this is a really exciting lesson because I mean, even though I taught the braided leather thing just briefly a few weeks ago, I did run into a problem, but I have resolved it. I'm going to share those tips and tricks with you because I kid you not, I thought I was going nuts, but it's just that when you braid the deer suede lace the way that I do it, it just takes on like a certain characteristic, and you have to deal with that. And I'm going to share all those with you when we do our project. But first, we're going to talk about the products that are available to you on today's show, so that if you want to make a bracelet like this, you can. And then we'll get to the customer show, which is my favorite part of the show. Anyway, here are the products on today's show. All right, let's see what we have here. The first item. You know, these are beautiful. Okay, this is a 6mm faceted carnelian. And you know, the one thing I was doing with them, I was doing the flip knot, which is under Naughty Lessons, because I thought, you know what, that would look kind of cool, you know, just to have, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I just thought it looked really cool. I mean, I have an idea, but I just want to show you how cool and beautiful. And I think carnelian, like the 6mm carnelian, they're hands down one of my favorite beads. And every time I get them, I feel sad when I make something, because that means I won't have them to make something else, which means that I have to buy a lot of them. But yeah, because they're so pretty. I mean, they're just like gorgeous. Ooh, and these beads, okay, this is the aquamarine 10mm round. You know what I did? Look, I just make like a real simple bracelet. Just easy on, easy off. Look at that. I just love like anything that's like, you know, quick and easy. And this is very like, you know, could stack it with other bracelets. So, you know, I think with the other beads, I'm going to make a matching necklace and maybe a matching pair of earrings, because a friend of mine was telling me that sets were important. I'm not a set person, but being that it involves making jewelry, I can become a set person very, very quickly. So, and oh, these are, oh, I love these so much, guys. Oh, this is a sage agate 8mm round. And these are the beads that we're using on today's show. They are just like, let me see if I can get them in focus. Just the colors. It reminds me of, oh, I don't know what the name of it is, but you know, on this one, I used some of the beads to make this necklace that I have not finished. I don't know what I'm going to put on the bottom here, but look how pretty they are. They're just, and they're very shiny. So they're not like a matte color. And I just think the combination, and you know, look at that. See, that's the thing about buying just one strand of anything, because if you use it for this, then you can't use it for that. So that means you got to buy more. So, so these are really pretty. As a matter of fact, this is probably the last time you're going to see this one, because I'm going to have to take it apart for today's project because I used all the beads. So anyway, let's see. But they are just absolutely like beautiful. And then next we have, I didn't get a chance to use these, but I have seen bracelets where, like, especially for stretch bracelets, you know, you put like these little guys like in between the beads, and it looks really cool because you just have them kind of like sandwiched in. But maybe if I have time, I'll make like a stretch bracelet with these like on the side. You put the you put this, the bead, and then another two of these, but facing like opposite directions. And then it just looks really, really cool. So those are really, I was very happy to see these. And oh, they're, it's a base metal wavy donut shaped spacer bead, and you get 150. Oh, and it comes in 2 different sizes. And drum roll, this is the cord knotting and design tool that I invented. And it comes in a big board and a little board. And let me tell you, it is easy to learn. It's multifunctional. So it's not like you buy a tool that just does one thing. I mean, this thing, there are so many things you can do. And I know that there are way over 70 lessons. And we also have our smaller board. This one comes with the hardware kit, the DVD, the ebook. But the most important thing is that it's fun, it's fast, it's easy, and there is literally, every time I say this, I've hit the brick wall. I can't come up with something new, and then I come up with something new. So there's macrame, braiding, multi-strands, it just, look at even the bracelet on the bottom. That is so cool. It is a variation of the multi-strand, the one with the sunstone. And if you think about it, what do you not see? You don't see end caps. And that is one of the nice things that I show so many different ways of finishing, like just about like anything. And if I come across something that is new to me and I don't like the way it's finished, I come up with a way, just like I did over the weekend, because I was working on a macrame project. It's very specific. I came up with a new way. So it's the board just makes it easy to like hold your work. You have like 6 different hands. It's so much fun. And I mean, considering the price, it's very economical. I mean, right now the big board is $99.95. And I mean, if you calculate the number of lessons, I mean, it's just so much fun. It's just incredible. I cannot say enough about this tool. So it's with the small one, the big one. So if you can't decide, then get both, because they are both extremely handy in their own separate ways. And look at the moose knot. It's on that Ethiopian cross, beautiful moose knot. This thing is a mega tassel maker. I mean, you can make tassels of every size, shape, and flavor with this thing. It's just incredible. Anyway, and then we have Belon. This is, you get a 2-pack. It's white, gray, and black, and this is what we will be using on today's show. It's synthetic, so that means it'll melt, which is very, very nice. And it's a closeout buy at $14.99. And let me see what else. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's a good deal. So make sure and grab that. Let's see what else we have that's let's see. We've got the carnelian. And those are very limited in stock. So you might want to grab those before they're gone. And plus, the sage agate is just like hands down gorgeous. You will love them. I mean, when I say you'll love it, you'll love it. Anyway, those are all the products on today's show. And don't forget to check out. If you put anything in your cart, don't forget to check out, and also check your Brilliant Cash to see if you have any, because I had some a couple of months ago, and I was like, whoa. So I bought stuff. And check your Brilliant Cash, because you can use it. Remember, if it's your birth month, you get $30 in Brilliant Cash added to your account. So anyway, those are all the products on today's show. Guys, let me tell you, this one thing that I like to do, like if I have like beads left over, and we always have beads left over. We work on a project, we're like, oh, what are we going to do with our leftover beads? This is like the best thing to do with like leftover beads, because I had like a few of these guys left over, and I just make these like cute, quick, and easy stacker bracelets. So look at that. And I made this one, and then this one that I really like so much, because the aquamarines is just so pretty. And then probably by the end of the day, I'll have like 5 or 6 different bracelets on. Anyway, we are going to do the customer show. Let's check it out. All right, first we have Nana from Scotland. Oh my goodness, that is so cool. It's really interesting, because depending on the type of cord that you use, you can get different looks from your macrame. So I'm really curious as to what cord this is, because I like that branchy look. So this is a polymer clay pendant with crochet salmon knotted bead chips and shell rounds. Really, really pretty. Ooh, look at that clasp. And I can bet you made that too, Nana, right? Because you are so talented. Next, we have Laura Lee, Florida. Ooh, this one's so pretty, guys. I've got another picture coming up, but this one's braided, and I love the spacing of it. I guess the arrangement. That's the word that I'm looking for of the beads. But ooh, look at that really cool labradorite. It's like a hand carved. Look how pretty this is. Let me go back. Okay, so this is it looks like a hunter green colored cord. It's got labradorite and some like little faceted metal rondelle beads. So, and I like the way you started it. Very nice, real pretty. And let's see over here. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I really like this necklace. And next we have, oh, Nana Scotland. Okay, this is the multi-strand technique that I teach, and beautiful faux leather. I think that's leather. I'll just say faux leather knotted bracelet with a button closure. So, see, that's one nice thing about the board, because if you had tried to make a multi-strand like the old-fashioned way, it would be like you would need these end caps, and those things, I mean, in my opinion, are a headache. This is beautiful. And then next we have Susanna, Louisville, Kentucky. She actually like epoxied on the hammered copper ring. And how did you get it just the right size? And let's see, this has got the evenly spaced. Oh, these are coil knots. These are evenly spaced coil knots. Oh, because I've done this style. Oh, look at that. Look at the arrangement of the beads. It's got like the spacer bead with the rondelle in the middle. Very nice. Let's see, you've got the macrame slide knot with the coil knots on the end. Ooh, and I like the way you did the wrapping of the donut. I like that. Whatever you did on top there. That looks really cool. Very nice. Next, Nana, Scotland. You know, when I saw these beads, I was like, what are these? And when I read the description, they're handmade polymer clay beads. Okay, and it says, and heart charm. Oh, look how cute that little charm is. It's got the button, but this is macrame. So I know I've done some lessons, but when you do the macrame like this, where you can't see the cord on the top of the rectangular beads, it's because it's wrapped on the bottom, but it's really neat how you can clearly see them on the round beads that are in between the rectangular ones. Really, wow! I need to learn to make polymer clay beads. These are really, really cool. When I saw them, I was like, I've never seen anything like that. Very nice. And next, Susanna, Louisville, Kentucky. You know, I love this bracelet. It's got like this is an unusual donut as well. And then it's got the macrame. Oh, is that braided? Like the cord that goes around the donut? Is that like braided in there? That looks really nice. I mean, I can't tell, but I can see that it has an interesting texture. So this is a macrame with the beads on the outside, and then I like the way you faux leather on the end. Very nice. Perfect. And oh, this is really interesting. This Michelle sent this in. It's a fidget bracelet. So I guess the part in front, you know, it turns, and that's really cool. That's a new concept, fidget bracelets. I really like that idea, and I love the color of the waxed cotton that you use, because that mustardy color it's one of my favorite colors. Very nice. And I just like the neon in there with it's just so cool. You know, it's like colors that you wouldn't normally think to put together, but and then you put them together and it looks cool. And I do that like all the time where I'm like, even if I think initially it doesn't look good, I just do it anyway, and then you get like happy surprises. So thank you, Michelle, for this wonderful idea. And next we have Nana, Scotland. This one's really cool because it's like the multi-strand, but it's got like beads like just like all the way like down. But look at how nice the macrame like loop is, and then it's got the dangles on the end. And I tell you guys, Nana, I mean, she sent in some stuff for future shows, and wait till you see what the beautiful things she makes. Oh my gosh. But this is a really, let's see, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 strand. And I think she said she made it with bead soup. Very nice. Susanna, this one, I mean, I'm not saying this necklace is funny, but I did not know that during last week's show, someone said it looked like Christmas lights. And she said something about a Christmas light necklace. And I'm like, is that like a new concept in jewelry? So I was puzzled. But then when I saw this, boom, immediately I couldn't unsee it. So now I think it looks like Christmas lights too. And it'd be kind of cute, actually, if you think about it, with colored beads. I think that would look really, really cool. So you nailed it. And she said she ran out of leather, so she just used the crimps on the end. So, at least you were able to save the necklace. Very nice. And next we have Nana Scotland. Oh, look at this. Okay, this is a macrame, and it's got the little beads on the outside. And this, I know this can be tricky because you have to have the right size of bead for the outside that matches the bead that you're wrapping around. But this, the flower is a handmade polymer clay. I cannot do that. That is just, it's so pretty. It's stunning. And I like the button, and then the way you finish it on the end. And look at the macrame loop. Oh, let's see, it's just so pretty. I love it. And next, Susanna, Louisville. This is the triple row macrame, and she says she loves it, and I see why she loves it. She does such a good job. Look at that, it's perfect. And I like the combination, the color choice of the thread with the purplish beads. It's funny because like the purple and pinks, I mean, they're hard to match like the cord to. I've always like struggled a little bit with that, but I always tend to go back to like the olives and like, just like along these lines. But very nice, beautiful. It's got the slide knot, that cute button. And then next, this is our last one, Susanna, Louisville, Kentucky. This, okay, this has got evenly spaced. This is so cool. This is a really good use of like chip beads. But if you notice, like in between, there are like the round faceted beads. And it just, I think the word I'm looking for is like uniform. It just adds that a little bit of this uniformity, because sometimes when I make stuff or necklaces that are going to be random, I put like little elements in there on each side to kind of like just, I don't know, just to give it a little bit of symmetry. And it's perfect. Beautiful. Anyway, guys, that is our customer show for today. If you want to send anything in, email it to the Knotty-Do-It-All at gmail.com. That is the best email to get it to me. The Knotty-Do-It-All at gmail.com. Isn't that fabulous? I just love when you guys like send things in. So to our project here, which I'm very excited about, because guys, let me tell you something. Okay, first I'm going to show you how to make this. And like I said, I did like a brief tutorial a couple of weeks ago, but pretend like you didn't see it because this one's better. Okay, a couple of things. When you make this, if you put your if you wrap it like 7 inches apart, it will come out shorter. I thought I was going nuts because I made one and then it didn't work, and then I made another one. I got, yeah, my microphone fell off. And then I made another one, and then that didn't work. But the thing is, when you braid the way I'm doing it, it actually like starts to like shorten up a little bit. So that was the problem. So the trick is to make it just a little bit longer. So, and one thing that I like to do as well is I like to wax it. So, oh, and the other really important, I had made several of these, and I want for some reason, no matter what I did, this loop always would come out smaller than the loop on the end. And that's because when you get to the end of the braiding on this side, it gets really hard to get the cords braided, so the loop ends up a little bit bigger. But the trick is to, let's see what I've got. Oops, let me back up a little bit. Put like a peg. Let me get my pegs and clips in here. So you're just gonna wrap it around like this. And we're gonna count, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, right now it's spaced 7 inches apart. You guys are witnesses, and when you see that it's actually going to come out shorter, you'll know what I'm talking about. So see how I'm wrapping it, and then I'm going to leave like maybe about a 5 or 6 inch like tail on the end. So let me come and cut this off. All right, so I'm going to clip this, and it doesn't matter where you clip it as long as it's like clipped somewhere right there. So see this this spacing right here? That's where I'm going to start doing my macrame binding knots. So let's see what we got here. I guess I'll just change things up a bit. I'll use like this gray, and I'm going to take 16 inches, and then I am going to split it, because I wouldn't, for binding knots like that, I like to use like really thin cord, because the exception is, I mean, there's an exception to everything. I don't want it to be too big. So you get more points of contact with a thin cord than you do with the thicker one. But if it's going to be long, then you can get away with, you know, keeping it like double. Anyway, oh, we got so many people here today. Rhonda, Shelley, oh my goodness, Delia in Las Vegas. Hi, Delia. God, that's new. We've got Moxie. Is that Mermaid Moxie? We have Michelle, Rhonda, Joan. Oh my God, incredible. We've got like a full house here. Whoa. So to split this, you guys know how I do that, right? Since the wax jewelry cord's a 2-ply, it's just, you know, you just like split it. And then I'm going to use 1/2 for part and the other part for the other. And see how it's got kinks in it? You could like just stretch it and it'll just like, the kinks will come out. But right now it really doesn't matter if there are kinks in it. So we are going to do a macrame binding knot. It's like regular old macrame. And what I do, just to like, see how I'm pushing it up against the pegs, I want it to as close as possible. Okay. And then we're going to do, when you do the first one, it's going to pop out a little bit, but then you could just get it back in. Okay. And now we just keep going. Nice and tight. And let's see. And do not use like a natural cord for this part, because you won't be able to melt the ends, which we are going to do in just a second. So just do this a few times, and let me just lock that in. And usually I go back over, but you know, for the sake of time, I am going to not do that. But that's I recommend it. Just macrameing over the macrame. Let's tap that. Okay, now for the fun part. Okay, so whoop. Now we're going to braid this. See how you got the loop? So and like I said earlier, you can put like wax on it. It really helps like soften it up a bit. And plus it gives it like after you like hit it with a heat gun or a hair dryer, it just kind of gives it just this different look. And another thing, this suede lace, it's a little bit rough. So, I mean, this is the Leather Cord USA. And this one, this is what I'm using. And it was like in a show a couple of weeks ago, but you guys bought it, right? Along with everything else I show, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we are going to just braid. And just kind of like, keep your eye on the braid, just to make sure it stays flat. And that one end, there's that one loose end, every once in a while, just kind of like, you know, untangle it from the loops. Okay. Let's see. Susanna. Oh my God, Susanna in Louisville. Let me tell you a story. She made a bracelet and she thought the dangles on the end were too long, so she decided to make them shorter. And she made it too short and she couldn't get the bracelet off. And I was like, I was telling her hey, there's that trend right now with permanent jewelry that, you get your bracelet or your ankle bracelet like welded on permanently. I mean, like why not? Hey, that's a new idea. So you just keep braiding and just every once in a while, just kind of get this going. Oop. Paula, Michael, Pat. Ooh, Pat the timekeeper. Okay, see, it's going to get a little bit tricky when you get to the end, so you're going to have to kind of just tuck it in and keep going. And the nice thing about this, I mean, you have to admit, this is like the best way to finish like a braided leather, because otherwise, how do you do it? Honestly, if I didn't know how to do it this way, I would not even use this stuff, because okay, my braid is like messed up. And you just keep going. Oh my goodness. Okay, so am I confusing myself? Did I do that right? Okay, hang on. Okay, this one goes next. And then you want to keep going until this end more or less matches this end. But by adding this gap in here, it's going to match much better than it would have, before. Let me fix that. Uh-oh, I messed up my braid. Okay, let's fix it. Okay, there. Okay. Here. Someone said they couldn't braid. Rita. I guess it just takes a little bit of practice. My sister she struggles with braiding. I mean, she could do like crochet and knotting and everything else, but for some reason the crochet gets her. I mean, the braiding. Like, it's getting me right now. See, it gets a little bit confusing. Oh, there it goes. When it gets to the end. Okay, so right there, I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to clip this in right here and just grab another clip. Right there. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to take this other piece of cord, and then I'm going to do a really tight macrame binding knot right about. And you just kind of like look at it, and it does match the other side. You just kind of eyeball it. So right there, really, really tight. Very important. So I'm just going to just wrap it around your fingers and pull. And that's a really nice thing about synthetic cords, is that, you can really, really crank this down. And this, you can use like parts like this for start thinking component pieces for necklaces, which I had done that earlier, but I needed the beads, but this was the back part of a necklace. So there are like a million ways that this can go. I mean, the only thing to remember is your target length is not going to be what you put on the board. It's going to be about an inch shorter. So just do a couple of if you need them to be like a very specific size, just do like a couple of practice shots before you get it. And also remember that the thickness of the deer suede lace matters. So if you using a different thickness, then make sure and just like calculate the right amount. Ooh, all right. Let's see what we got. All right, let me get some. Don't use, if you have like, thread nippers, don't use thread nippers. For deer suede lace, let me try this. I really didn't take notes. Okay, that works. And see, another thing about the board, when you're cutting stuff, just leave it on the board because it really helps like give you a nice like clean cut. Because have you ever like tried cutting thread and you pull on it and then cut it and it's easier than if you try cut it while it's floppy? Okay, so there we have it. And you guys saw that I did like 7 inches and it's going to be, look at that, 6 inches. So remember, it will make it a little bit shorter. Okay, and this is part 1. Okay, now the next thing is we are going to knot these guys. And if you know me, you know that I use that really fast backward method. So I had confidence that I was going to be able to finish today's show in no time. So let's do this. And, you know, I had a customer that just, you know, she just recently like learned about this. I mean, I know I've been like teaching it for a long time, but she was really surprised. She's like, wow, I didn't even know that you could do that. So, you know, if I sound like I'm repeating stuff, then, you know, maybe you learn something. We're going to make our first knot, and it has to be really tight. Okay. So we are going to concentrate on making this knot as tight as possible because we have to, it's going to serve a function in just a sec. So, you know, tighten it this way, tighten it that way. And, you know, I use more cord than I needed. I use 60 inches, but I think I could have gotten away with 40 or even less. It's just that sometimes I use more cord than I need in case I change my mind about the cord, the course of the design. Does that ever happen to you where you're like, oh, I'm going to make this, and then you get this idea and you're just like, oh, I could do this, this, and this. So that's what happened to me when I did this. So I just ended up just cutting like 60. So just really concentrate on making this one tight. Okay, I think that's tight. Just do it, whatever it takes. And then I do my knotting where I flip it over. And I think I don't have to, but I am going to use a knotting awl. Okay. And then I'm going to come back and just, you know, just tighten each one if it's good insurance. And then you just come back. You guys, there's a song that every time I hear it, I think about mine. No, I don't want to ruin it for you. Because then, for those of you that might like the song, I don't want to ruin it for you. So if at the end of the show you want me to ruin it for you, then I will, but I'll just leave it at that because it's something funny. Every time I hear the song, it reminds me of, maybe that would be a mystery. Maybe I should do a contest. Whoever can figure out the song that reminds them of knotting beads, you get a prize. I don't know. Sandra is echoey. Oh, is it? Is it? How does it sound now? Echoey. Huh. Do I sound echoey? You know, I might, because I was like messing with my audio interface, and I know that I pushed a button, and I don't know what button I pushed. So if I do sound echoey, let me know, and I'll see if I could fix it for the next show, because there's no way I can fix it this time. Okay, so. Oh, okay. Yeah. And you know what? My mic, you guys wondering, well, why don't you just get a better clip? There's a reason why my mic is always falling off, and I'll tell you why. While I do this, I'll tell you the story about my microphone. I am hardwired. Okay, I'm not wireless because I tried the wireless setup and it was like horrible because the batteries and you have to keep them charged, and it was just like a headache. So I decided to do the hardwired thing. And sometimes when I walk away from my recording sessions, I forget that I have the microphone on, and guess what happens? Everything comes with me because it's clipped on, which has happened. So I figured if I had a microphone that just barely clips on, if I like move away from my recording studio here, the microphone will come off easily without like bringing down the house. So that is why my microphone is always falling off. Okay. So we're just gonna. Do you guys like? Do you get what I'm doing? You guys are nodding like this. I know everyone is doing this. And then nice and tight. Okay. You know, one thing you could do. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, just for FYI. If you want a bigger knot, you could actually like flip it over twice. Have you guys done that? 1, 2, maybe sometimes I'd go even 3 times. I haven't done that on a show yet, but if you want a bigger knot, you can do that. So let me undo this and flip this one over. All right. And tighten. Every once in a while, if you feel like you didn't tighten it enough, then you could just come back and I'll flip it. Oh, okay. So I got these beads and I put these little ones on the end because the transition thing, that if at the ends of anything, if the beads are too big, that the transition is going to be kind of weird. So I always put, when I get to the ends, I always put like a smaller bead so that way it just like it's not so I don't know if there's like a term for that, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like that bulky look at the end. Okay, so I'm gonna like start tightening these. Okay, tighten. Was it like 3 that I did? Oh my goodness, I don't want to. Yep, there's 3. Okay. The first bracelet, I made a couple of bracelets like this, and I had this problem. I mean, it wasn't like too big of a problem. Okay, now this knot, you've got to make it like tight. Just keep pulling. And I used a leadered needle to get these beads strung on. You guys know about that. It's fishing line that you put on the fold. I should have mentioned that earlier, but I forgot. So it just really makes a huge difference. So I'm going to tighten this and tighten it and tighten it. Tighten. Okay. So let's put this aside. Okay. I don't know I hope you guys bought these. Remember a few shows back? No, I'm using, hi Michelle, yeah, I am using the B-Lon. It's a 210, which is the same thickness as the S-Lon. So if you want to use S-Lon, you can use S-Lon. So it'll work just the same. A few shows, guys, I'm down to my last 3 of these. Okay, these were on the show a few weeks ago, and I ranted and raved, and I begged you to buy them because they're just so cool. These are those crimp-on ends. I looked on JTV because I thought, you know what, I'll just buy some more, but I couldn't find them. But maybe it's because I don't have the number with me. And I dropped one of the gold ones, and I cannot find it, but I'm going to find it. And the trick to finding anything, turn out all the lights and get a flashlight or put a headlamp on, and I guarantee if you lose something like that, you will find it, because I have found like almost everything I've ever lost in my life using the turn off the lights, get a flashlight or headlamp. And But I didn't have a chance to look for it, but it did drop. But you will need 2 of these crimp-on ends. They're really, because those clamshell things, you know, they're kind of like, I don't know. I think they're unattractive, but these are just so clean. And that's what we're going to put on this. That's like I was telling you to put this last knot nice and tight, because we are going to be putting these little crimp things on there. So let me take a thread zap, and you're going to have to melt the end. So let's get a nice little melt ball on there. Okay. Okay. All right. Operation successful. Yeah, right, Julie? Ah, they make such a huge difference, and they're so strong, because the like some of the other ones, they're they're delicate. They're not very strong. These guys are like crazy strong. Okay, I'm not going to talk for a second. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now if you have these guys, the tip, oops, the tip here is you're going to have to open it up a little more than like how it came. It's only open up so much. So what you do is you take a pair of round nose pliers and just kind of put it in there. Oh no. Okay. I am not taking any chances, because this is like the last one I have left. So maybe this would be a cool tip for you guys too, that have butterfingers like me. Um, Hang on, I feel like I did something wrong. No, 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 not yet. I haven't done anything wrong yet. Okay. Oh, 20 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to hold it. See that? Way easy. See how I put a piece of string? Now I am in control, because, okay, so let me lock the focus in right there. Okay. And see, I'm going to put my round nose plier in there. See, I'm opening it up a little bit more than, okay, I think that'll work. So what you do, let's take this. You're gonna put it at the end of this this knot. Okay. All right, let's get this. Okay. I have one chance at this, otherwise it's not gonna work. So just put your fingernail in there and just get that. Oh, oh my gosh, it's perfect. Okay, so what should I use? I guess these guys. Oh, perfect. Whoa, see that? But this one, you know what? I should use the, there's a special pair of pliers that I have. Oh, these guys. Okay, let me grab them. I highly recommend that you use, hang on, guys. My special pair of pliers are stuck. These guys, I'm going to use these guys for the next one, because they do a really good job. Because this one kind of like crimped the bead, but now that I remember, these have give a real nice round profile. Okay, so let's do the next one. All right, got one opportunity. Grabbers. Oh, you know what? I do too. I've got a grabber. Oh, let me show you my grabber if I can find it. You know what? I don't know. Is it down there? You know what? I do have one of those, Pat. Oh, I can't reach it, but that's okay. Those little claw things. Okay, let's do this again. Okay. Okay, one thing I'm gonna do, just to create a little bit of space for the crimp. Okay, it's good. Okay, let's get this one. And we have to do the same thing. Let's get this in there. Guys, I'm not going to talk for a second because I can't concentrate. Okay, perfect. Whew. God, boy, I feel like this is like it's a crimp closer. It's this is like the one tool that I have that I forgive it for only doing one thing, but the one thing that it does really well. Okay, so now we got to get this side on here. Oh, this one's a little more difficult. Ooh. Ah. Okay, let's see what let me see if I get the crimp in there. Let's see if that works because this is being a little bit like finicky. Okay. Maybe this will work. Oh, no. Oh, don't forget, don't do what I'm doing. This one's really like, okay, let's try using the board. Let's see if that helps. Okay, let's get this on. Let's scoot this over and look at that. Oh, perfect. See the board? Oh, guys, and look at that. It's so, look how beautiful it came out. This side came out a lot nicer than the other one. See that? Nice and clean. And this one got crunched a little bit, so these are great for crimps. You will crimp more often if you had those. Okay. Wow. This just came out perfect. Okay. All right, let's put it together. So I got this one and this one. And it's a little bit like short, but like I'm going to stretch this out a little bit. After you like make something where you do really tight knots, just kind of like pull on it a little bit so that way they're not like kind of warpy, but never pull from the end like this. Boom. Just kind of like, you kind of just do this. It just kind of gets it nice and like a little bit looser, and it probably lengthens it up a little bit. Okay, so now we are going to put the ending on. Let me get my scissors. And I'll show you. Okay, so I'm going to take my faux leather and I'm going to cut it at an angle and put, let's see, one end through here, and then the other end is going to go through here. And I don't know. I'm going to go, how long? 16 inches. Because I think I want the cord to be doubled, yes. And I know it's probably a little bit overkill, but at least it's going to give me some leverage in case I change my mind about something. So I'm going to come over here. Let me clear this. Okay, I'm going to put a pin and a clip 1 inch apart. Okay, and I'm going to offset by 4 inches, and I'm going to make a moose knot. So let's do that. You guys know what the moose knot is. So you just wrap. You just, I offset by 4 inches, and I'm using the long side. And I'm just gonna, for some reason, I don't know why, when I do like the ends of bracelets, I just like to do like a double looped moose knot instead of a triple. I don't know. It's just a thing. So then I'm going to come in and see that? See how the transition's a lot smoother than the original one, which was, I mean, it's not bad. It's just different because on this one, I did which you guys saw, which I'll do. This lesson is actually a variation of this one, which was one of the options for last week's project. This was the other choice. So let me just put that aside. So this is basically, you could take whatever you're learning from this lesson. I'm not going to put like fluffy things on the ends. I'm going to put like beads. So you do the same thing on the other side. So let's do the, let's get our faux leather, 16 inches. And see, the neat thing is, since you've got those crimp-ons, that's like I emphasize, make that knot on the end really, really tight, because that is the knot, and make sure the melt ball is like good, because that is what's going to go into that little crimp to hold the bracelet. Okay, so let's do this side. And this one and this one. Wait, did I cut way too much cord, guys. Whoops. Waste not, want not. You know, the other day I went to some store and I bought some stringing material, and there wasn't very much of it, and it was like $6 for like 2 feet. And I did the math, and it was more expensive than sterling silver. Isn't that insane? But it was so pretty. I have a weakness. It was like some kind of silk. I have a weakness for thread or cord of any kind. God, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be so much fun to go to a store? I mean, I know that they have they're technically called yarn shops, but you know, like shops that like had every kind of stringing material on the planet. Wouldn't that be so cool? All right, so there we have this part so far. And one thing I'm going to do, because the moose knot is a slidey knot, I am going to put I'm going to put an overhand knot right at the end here, just to keep it from sliding. And you can just take your peg and just scoot it down and tighten. I just like the moose knot for like the ends, because it just looks so clean. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And I did that one too tight. No, I didn't. Just leave a little bit of wiggle room, because that is one problem I had with that first one I did. I did it too tight, and it was kind of like stiff. So you just want to be able for it to be able to like have some fluidity. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Let's get that one down. Let's see. Oh, okay, right there. Okay, now we are on to, ooh, that's coming out pretty. Look at that. See, really clean ends. Oh, JTV needs to get those crimp things back in. I'll have to look up the SKU number. And okay, let's get this one. Let's see how the board, I mean, come on. At every turn, boom, boom, boom. I love it. Ooh, let me use my scrap. So, unlike the macrame binding knot, I'm going to make a macrame slide knot. So when you use like a super slippery cord, like faux leather on faux leather, guys, no matter how tight you do it, it's going to slide. So I am going to make it about, let's see. All right. Okay, so what is Robin doing in the garage? I'm reading your guys' notes, but I'm missing out on a lot of information. Okay, from what I gather, she's in a hot garage. Making beads? I don't know. I know. Oh, garage. Ooh. Ooh, a garage sale. Yeah, you could always find cool stuff at garage sales. What's the coolest thing I ever found at a garage sale? You know, I don't remember. Actually, nope, I'm trying to think. Thank you, Rhonda. I think I'm going to finish. Ooh, goody, goody. So we got these here. There's our beautiful macrame slide knot. And if you have trouble with, you finish and then it pops apart, just like tighten it and then hold it right here, and that way it doesn't come apart while you melt the ends. Uh-oh. Let me contort and get my lighter. 1 second. Okay. And so while I'm doing this, you can necklaces, component pieces. I have a really cool idea for next week's lesson. I think I might incorporate this. Oh, and another thing, I just want to throw it out there. If you decide to do it with round leather, double up on the strands, because I did it with like just a single and it kind of looked kind of weird. But if I were to have used 2 strands, it would have looked a lot cooler. So just FYI. Okay, so now we need to put the stop knots, and let's close it up. And so what I do is I just open it until, just to get it, enough to get it on and off, because like Susanna, she felt the dangles were too long. So when you do that, the end part is going to be just right. So let's tighten this one here. And then we could do this one here. You just do an overhand knot, and I just use like the post, using square beads. Ooh, square beads. Michelle, I will request some square beads from JTV. What kind of design would you like to see? If you have anything in mind, I would love to do that. Square beads, like cubes, or like flat beads. Yeah. Okay, so now for the fun part. Like what bead to put at the end. On this one, I put these beads that I hope you guys bought like a few shows ago, because they're so cool. And you know what? They're out of my reach right now. So let's see what we got. Huh. Nope. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh, here we go. These are all the large hole beads, like my stash. So you got to have a stash of large hole beads. Let's see. Ooh, I'm going to do this color. I'm going to do these guys. Perfect. I think those are going to look good. I must have this signature thing, because I love putting white beads at the end of my, like, everything. See, like I made this bracelet. I put a white bead. They say that, I don't know, like when you keep doing something over and over just because you really, really like it. Oh, Joan. 0. Is this, I don't know. I don't speak that language. Joan, are you okay? Maybe she put something on her, or maybe the cat, if she has a cat. Oh, let's see. Michelle, okay, I think you were going to do a tutorial for that, but did the leather dangle. Oh, okay, thank goodness. We were worried about you, Joan. We were like, whoa, what happened? I thought it was like some kind of computer, like, you know how they have emojis and all that shorthand stuff for text messages? I thought you were telling me how cool I was. I thought, ooh, I thought you were going, ooh, ooh. Okay. Delia, yes, we are a funny bunch. If you want a funny bunch, man, we've got a crazy, crazy, crazy group of people here. Ta-ta, it's finished. And I finished at 11:59. Let's see how good I did on my timing today. Ooh, I got 30 seconds left, and let's put her on. Wow. And see, the dangles aren't going to be too long. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? And just think about black, turquoise. I mean, there's so many different like options for like the suede lace, and then the this just beads in general. Anyway, guys, it is 11 o'clock. It's time for me to go. I am so glad we had a full house today. Thank you guys for joining. And remember, if you have like a project suggestion, like send it to me and I will see what I can do. And I saw a couple of like suggestions, like with the square beads, just to send it to me and I'll see if I can get the beads and do the project. You guys have a fabulous week and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye.